Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for joining me as I continue on with my playthrough of Endwalker. So if you've been watching my channel, you know that we've already made it up to Elpis. And last time we ended up spending some one-on-one time both with Medion as well as Hermes and even Hydaelyn. It was amazing. That was a wonderful part of the game so far. I love these characters. Like the whole Elpis line, I am just loving every moment of it. I had to stop playing at some point because wasn't the high enough level, but I am now, so we're getting ready to go on to the next part. So here we are with Claire, and she's with her new old friends. So she's ready to go. And the next quest line is called Travelers at the Crossroads. Hydaelyn wishes to discuss plans for the remainder of your visit. Where to now? If there is anywhere you would like to visit before we leave, I should be glad to show you the way. Hermes has not yet outright refused his position with the convocation, merely postponed the decision. As such, I may as well resume my assessment. If we cannot accompany him, then I will content myself with questioning his colleagues. Ever the pragmatist, then allow me to remain your humble guide. And what of you, Claire? Will you continue along with us? Oh, I'm not going to say no now. Wonderful. Our fellowship travels on unbroken. I say we explore another part of Elpis and see what new encounters there are to be had. If you would follow me, we will first head back towards Anagoresis. I like how Hades is no longer like telling us to go away, so I really do think that we've kind of grown on him at this point. And I didn't mean to do that, so oh well. Let's go. So I'm interested to see where we go to next. So I'm guessing we're going to another part of Elpis. Oh, it's so pretty here. I love it here. I now get why Emet-Selch was so desperate to get this world back. It really makes you wonder, like, what would happen even if they did complete the rejoining and managed to rejoin all the worlds together. I mean, what would happen? I mean, they wouldn't be the same people anymore, would they? I mean, he seemed convinced that if we sacrifice enough people, then they can bring back the dead. I'm not sure if they can actually do that, though. I really don't know. Oh, look at this place. I'm sorry, I just have to pause here and just really look around. Like, you got to admire all the hard work and dedication the dev team go all out on this. Didn't we part ways with Hermes not far from here? Given the size of Elpis, I expect our paths will cross again before long. From here, we follow the path northwards to Notonis. There we'll find one of the teleporters which facilitate travel between the islands of Elpis. First-time travelers must be accompanied by someone with the requisite permission, which I have previously been granted. We only need to use the device together once, and henceforth you will have leave to use it freely. Well, that's nice of him. Shall we? I'm guessing it's up on that little island there. I'm still having a hard time trying to figure out exactly how the final days are starting. I mean, Hermes and Medion do seem to be at the center of it. I'm willing to bet that, especially since I'm pretty sure that was Medion's voice we heard. But I don't know. I don't have a clue what's going on here. Unless the need is pressing, I won't be tracking Hermes with my ethereal sight. Tis poor manners to spy on someone's comings and goings in such fashion, so don't ask. Social conventions notwithstanding, perceiving either requires deliberate and intense concentration, and we otherwise keep our eyes on the corporeal world. Alright? Here we are. Noctones. This teleporter will take us to Camililos Zephyros, the western island. That is right there, looming large over us. Step this way and we shall soon admire the view from above.
I present to you Camililos Zephyros. Here you will find a number of testing facilities, as well as the observation hub of Poiton Oikos. Right then. Let's begin by... Well, well. An Arrayus. How delightful.
I'm sorry, I see a sprig in there, and he calls it something else, though. I guess that's its original name, now that I think of it. Whoa!
And what, pray tell, is that?
You took the words out of my mouth, buddy.
Ah, that's a new species of shark. We approved the concept but a few days ago.
Who came up with the idea of a walking shark? Seriously.
Sharks are among the most popular sea creatures. Rare is the day when someone does not submit a new concept. At first, they were largely orthodox, consideration given to such things as size and environmental impact, and then a whimsical someone thought to bestow it with flight, another superior intelligence. And then the floodgates burst, concepts with multiple heads, or arms and legs, and so on and so forth. It was getting absurd. A part of me wanted to tell them to go away and find something else to create, but in the end, I couldn't deny their passion.
Oh no!
And here we are.
How are they gonna get out of this? Oh, it's her! Oh my god, it's her!
That was too close. Are you unharmed?
Oh,
Well
it's
now,
her.
if it isn't a pair of familiar faces.
Vana, that we should meet you
I
here.
knew it! Oh, so it is, but nah. I'm so happy. Oh yeah, we know who she is.
As I mentioned earlier, the better part of the convocation holds that when we retire is when we return to the star. Well, she is not among said majority. Even after stepping down, she carries on with her work. Vana is her name, and she is the previous as...
No! Oh my god!
It has been a while, Hydaelyn. You look well. Less so, Emet-Selch. I dare say the lines upon your brow have both deepened and doubled in number.
She was the previous Azim!
A shame for one so
Oh
young.
my god, that makes so much sense.
You must make an effort to frown less often.
Easier said than done, thanks to your unruly successor.
How is she, if I may ask?
Incorrigible as ever. Rushed headlong into a volcano.
I know that story! I know that
I'll be
story!
glad to share the tale in its entirety later, if you're so inclined.
Oh, you know I am. Now then, you are? I say, have you perchance come from the future?
How the hell does she know that? She doesn't waste time, does she?
I do not believe we have ever met, yet I sense my magic upon you. Therefore, if I wove the enchantment, I could only have done so at a later point in time.
That's true. Oh, that makes sense, though.
What manner of magic is this, if I may ask?
A traveler's ward, of course. It prevents the corruption of one's ether.
I feel like they're mixing up the blessing of light and the echo. Which is it now? Does it protect you from the enthrallment of primals by any chance?
Primals, you say? But I'm not familiar with such beings. But if they enthrall by warping the balance of ether, then yes, the magic would afford you a measure of protection. I gather from your question that you are not ignorant to its presence.
Hold on. From the future? That's absurd.
Well, I guess our cover's blown.
What is it? Are you unable to speak of the matter?
The reality to which you must return exists as a result of the final days. You cannot reshape the past to undo the tragedies of the present.
Oh, she looks so sad.
So, your actions here will not change your history, but they may yet affect the course of ours. How very exciting! I'm quite fond of delving into the unknown, and there's naught more unknown than the future.
I guess they're used to it.
Until a moment finally arrives, we cannot know for certain what will come to pass, regardless of our supposed foreknowledge, so you needn't worry for us. More importantly, that you should go to such great lengths as to travel unto the past bespeaks the gravity of your quest. Will you not reveal it to us? Mayhap we can be of aid to your cause.
Oh no.
If this is true, then you've been keeping quite the secret to yourself. As a representative of the Convocation, I will hear it all. Your identity, purpose, everything.
He won't like it.
Why don't we move to a place more conducive to calm conversation? I've been working here for some days now at an old friend's behest. If it is agreeable, we may make use of my accommodation at Poiton Oikos. We were meant to meet. I am certain of it. Else I wouldn't have marked you so clearly, and sent you unto myself in the past. It's precisely the sort of mischief I would get up to, and quite inspired, if I do say so myself.
Oh, I just love that idea. That she's the previous Asm. It creates like an instant connection. I love that. Oh, whoever came up with that idea is a genius. The future, our future. I am deathly curious to hear more. And there I thought you were just a harmless stray familiar. As far as I'm concerned, this nebulous talk of future this and changing history, that can wait. First, I mean to find out exactly who you are and what you hope to achieve here. My apologies, but before we move along, a colleague has tasked me with a matter which I'd rather not leave unresolved. It involves finding a certain concept-engraved crystal and the quick-fingered Orlaeus who made off with it. An Aureus, you say? I think we might have seen the culprit before being distracted by that business with the shark. Would you like us to follow its ethereal trail? That would, of course, lead us only to the Aureus. There is no guarantee that it hasn't dropped or stashed away the crystal you seek. Please, even that much would be enormously helpful. While you are hunting down the thief, I can follow behind and scour the forest floor just in case. Can I ask you to join in the search? I would appreciate another pair of eyes to cover the land to the west of here. Many thanks. There's a small bridge leading to Poitin Oikos. Let us meet up there once we've exhausted our efforts. So the three of them are going off together and leaving us all alone. I'm more surprised that Emet-Selch is willing to let us out of his sight now. Oh, it's one of those things. God, I hate those things. Okay, let's look for it. And you know what? Why is it that the shark is the only normal sounding name? Has the word shark? I guess sharks were just so popular that their name just survived for some reason. Like instead of like a Spriggan, we have an Aureus or whatever, and like all these weird names. Oh, well, that was quick. Concept crystal. Okay, found it. Let's go. Yeah, she didn't waste any time. Like, second she saw it, she knew right away. And like, doesn't waste time. I'll say that. Does not waste a lick of time. Oh boy, like, I don't know. This is getting so good. Problem, your presence is vexing enough without adding the old Asm into the equation. She wonders why these lines upon my brow grow deeper when she herself wields the hammer and chisel. The Asms, both mentor and student, are a force to be reckoned with. I find them a delight, personally, but they have a habit of making Emet-Selch look as if he'd been bit down on a sour grape. Our last researcher returns. I am afraid the Aureus no longer had the crystal, nor was I able to find it as I followed in its wake. I don't suppose you fared any better. Oh, actually, we found it. The crystal! Well done. Wonderful. Now I can focus on your tale without that missing concept nagging at my mind. Have you always had a knack for finding things? Traveling and searching go hand in hand. You travel often then. It seems we have something in common. Long ago, when I held the seat of Asm, I was forever trekking back and forth across the star in search of answers to people's problems. Naturally, the need for such journeys has lessened considerably since I entrusted the position to my whimsical successor. Yet I am still eager to come running should an old acquaintance or new interest require my personal attention. That is what brings me to Elpis, in fact. Many times has my presence been requested, my opinion sought concerning the habitat of this or that creation. Agreeing to help locate the missing crystal was a minor distraction, which now promises to become a major revelation. How strange and wonderful it is that one thing leads to another, wouldn't you agree? Oh, that's so true. That is so true. Okay, what's next? Alright, a past not yet come to pass. Thank you again for your timely help. Now then, 'tis time I return the stolen property. If you would go on ahead to my accommodation, I will join you as soon as I have attended to that task. Follow the path straight ahead to the building at the top of the slope. I have the entire place to myself, so we can speak without fear of being disturbed or overheard. I'm more surprised she was so concerned about the crystal. I mean, you have a traveler from the future that you yourself confirmed. Oh, look at them. And you're worried about a concept. I mean, okay, I guess, but I don't know why it's so important. Oh well, whatever. Let's go. You needn't be nervous about Venat. Those white robes mark her as one of fair and impartial reasoning. Aside from the emissary Elpis, such garb is worn only by those who have stepped down from public office to serve as advisors. Whatever you have to say, she will listen without judgment. Yes, this will be far more comfortable than interrogating you on the side of the road. Well, thank you for our comfort, then. Welcome to my temporary abode. Please make yourself at home while I put on some tea. I'm a little surprised they have tea here. Oh, it's her theme! This is Answers! I know the theme anywhere.
Ah, a wonderful aroma. I feel more relaxed already.
Would that I had sweetmeats to offer, but I travel light out of habit. There's plenty of hot water though, so please have as much tea as you like. Now then, will you tell us your tale?
Calamity called the final days has befallen the world.
Why don't you start from the beginning?
Is she telling them everything?
Preposterous. Utterly preposterous.
While not the words I would have chosen, I too have my doubts. Much of it borders on the incredulous. What of you, Vana?
Not knowing the precise details of the first final days, it is difficult to determine the veracity of the tale. Supposing it is all true, I must ask myself why I would do what I did. Why would I feel I had no recourse but to oppose the 14 and create this Hydaelyn? Circumstances change, of course, but it would not have been an easy decision regardless. No, there must have been a reason. One compelling enough to force me to take such drastic measures. Then there is the Elpis flower, which I said would serve as a guide. That it's of import to your mission is plain, but your presence here leads me to believe that this place also holds significance. But what could it be? What are we meant to accomplish?
Might it not be simply thus? In the future, whence she came, the final days could not be averted. Mankind has no choice but to flee the star. By alerting us to that eventuality, perhaps you wish to pave the way for other futures.
Theoretically speaking, it is a possibility. Yet if that were my primary objective, I see no reason to guide our friend to Elpis specifically. The capital in Amarot, or even my own home would be more logical destinations.
True, true. I note also that Hydaelyn did not specify a point in time to which she must return. By this, it may be inferred that it was not critical that we should meet.
No, but I'm happy we did.
Alternately, she had reason to believe that our paths would converge, coincidental though it may seem.
This is quite a puzzle. And we do not have all the pieces.
Hardly any. But we do have one immutable fact. If the final days are indeed as described, they will bring death to all that I hold dear. Yet despite being afforded long years of preparation, the only provisions I could make were for flight. Nay, my first and foremost endeavor would be to find a way to forestall the coming doom.
Given that even the 14 failed, mayhap you deemed it impossible.
Nothing is impossible. This I have always believed. And if Hydaelyn is indeed me, she would believe the same.
Listen to yourself. Are you seriously entertaining the notion that you are a messianic figure in some far-fetched tale? Well, I will not. I refuse to accept that our world could be undone by some unforeseen calamity. I also take offense to my portrayal as a megalomaniacal madman. To sacrifice oneself for the star is a noble act, and I would hold those who gave themselves to this zodiac in the highest esteem. Yet, you claim I recreated Amarot and populated it with phantoms of our people? A bizarre indulgence that would be insulting to their memory. Worse still, I even invited you there. Literally invited my own downfall. Why would I do something so idiotic and inexplicable? Now, I will allow that the hypothetical task of restoring our world would be daunting in the extreme. The thought of having to bear such a burden for 1,000 lives horrifies me. But I would never forsake my duty. I would never forsake my brethren. You do not know me. I've had my fill of your fiction. I will return to my duty, and you will not bother me again.
Emet-Selch! Wait!
You can't blame him for being upset.
You've seen much of Elpis already. If you have any observations to share, I should like to hear them.
Hermes and Medion are somehow involved. That I know for sure. I know that Dynamis also has a part to play, but...
Hermes and his creation Meteon, you say? If Dynamis is the self-same energy as Akasha, as it likely seems, then those two may well be at the center of the calamity to come. This warrants further investigation.
Does that mean you'll be helping us?
With that settled, it is time for action. The missing pieces of the puzzle are here, I'm certain of it. And when you find them, the picture my future self has painted will be complete, and you will have your answer. And suffice it to say, I will aid you in your quest.
I'm so happy. She gets to join us now.
Have faith. If Emet-Selch is the man Azum described to me, we've not seen the last of him.
He'll come back. He probably will. Speak with Vana again. Shall we begin our investigations then? I am acquainted with Hermes, of course, but only as a visitor received by the chief overseer of Elpis. Of the man himself, I know only that which is common knowledge. Thus, I suggest we fall back on the tired and true method of conversing with the locals. The observers who live here can surely tell us more of Hermes and Medion, and I have a good idea of where we might begin. Okay, so the tired and true method of questioning people until they get so sick of us they just tell us everything just to get us to leave them alone. That usually works, surprisingly. Human beings are such impatient creatures. See you the woman standing in front of yonder building? Her name is Esmini. She is the one who made arrangements for my stay in Elpis, and from what I recall, she has held her position here for quite some time. Chances are she can provide us with some insights. Go and ask your questions. I will help with drawing out answers if need be, but I leave the choice of topic to you. Let's speak with Esmini. You know more of this coming calamity, so I think it best that you lead the conversation. Questions? For me? Well, I suppose I have no other pressing duties at the moment. Cannot be skipped. Interesting. Alright, let's ask questions. Greetings, Esmini. My friend here is desperately curious about Chief Hermes, and I was wondering if you might indulge her. Certainly, Mistress Vana. Anything to be of service. What do you wish to know? What kind of person is Hermes? Well, I can only answer from my own experience, but I would describe him as a quiet man, reserved you might say, and occasionally somewhat poor with his choice of words. His resentment nature, however, does not prevent him from carrying out his duties as chief overseer. The man is a walking archive when it comes to life forms. He can discuss any species in incredible detail, and is the leading authority on concepts with the power of flight. I hope that answers your question. Was there anything else? Do you know of Medion's abilities? How long has Medion been here? I cannot rightly say. As the chief's personal creation, Medion has not been subjected to observation and study like other concepts. So one day she was simply there. What do you make of her abilities? I understand that she is a highly unusual familiar, able to read emotions and communicate directly with one's mind. Exactly how she was created with that talent, however, is a mystery to me. My apologies. I wish I could explain her nature in more depth, but I have not the occasion to discuss it with Chief Hermes. Okay. Do you wish you knew him better? The Chief may not be the most gregarious individual, but he engages with us as is necessary for everyone to perform their duties. I wouldn't want to intrude upon his privacy for the sake of curiosity. Though if you wish to learn more about Medion, you could try speaking with Temelos, another expert in the creation of flying concepts. He should be conducting his observations on the banks of the stream, somewhere to the east. Oh, and unless you take a particular joy in rambling discourse, I suggest you keep your questions concise. We shall keep that in mind. Thank you for your patience and your insight. Think nothing of it. If there's aught else you need during your stay, please do not hesitate to ask. Come, Claire, I think we've taken enough of Esmini's time. I have a feeling I could have gone better. Oh well. Whoa. There she is. Our investigation is off to a fine start, wouldn't you agree? From here I propose that we split up. I shall continue making inquiries with the resident observers, if you could track down the colleague Esme mentioned. While I did feel compelled to interject once or twice during the previous conversation, you seem more than capable of drawing forth the answers you seek. All I ask is that you watch your footing around the stream. We can meet back here once you finish speaking with this Timolos. Okay, so streams this way. There he is. Yes, I'm Timolos, but please keep your voice down. You'll startle the birds. What birds? Okay, so we got another question, Q&A going on. I'll bite. So, what is it you wish to speak about? Is it true you're an expert on flying creations? Yeah, let's try to butter him up first. Fellow enthusiast, are you? Well, settle in and we can discuss the finer points of this fascinating craft. My deep and abiding love for the avian artistry can be traced back to when I was but a young boy, stricken by the transcendent beauty of a glorious golden-feathered creature my father had designed. It was then and there that I vowed to one day surpass that that masterpiece. Oh no, I think we made a mistake. Damn it. Launches into a rambling and unstoppable discourse. And thus did I secure an observer's role here in Elpis, and at last realize my childhood ambition. Here the dreams I once dreamed are an everyday reality in which I find fulfillment through the research and creation of new flying life forms. An abridged recounting of events, as was doubtless to your disappointment, is there any specific part you would like me to expound upon? You were hoping for my opinion on Chief Hermes' creations? Then why did you say so? I wish I did. Those beings which soar through the clouds, majestic and graceful, are ever a favorite of creators. Even now, with so many varieties in existence, the flood of newly imagined concepts continues unabated. What sets the chiefs of creations apart, however, is how they benefit from his boundless knowledge of the celestial realm. Birds that climb so high that they disappear from view, others which traverse the boundless sky in moments, and all without riding the currents. I know of none save he who can conceive of such marvels. Even we who prize elegance of form above all else are dumbfounded by his genius. Meteion too is a marvel, then. My opinion on that would be superficial at best. Despite my admiration for Meteion as a concept, I have never delved too deeply in the inner workings of her nature. I know that she has a gift for communicating via emotions, but otherwise her abilities are a mystery to me. If Chief Hermes should choose to submit Meteion's concept to the Bureau of the Architect, then will the design be registered for public scrutiny? Analyzing that colleague's creation before that step is frowned upon, to say the least. Of course, if you came to me, a fellow artisan looking for advice, that would be an entirely different story. I could tell you more of Meteion's nature if you like. No. Did I not just explain how that was frowned upon? I couldn't possibly circumvent conventional practice by... unless you were sharing such information in hopes of receiving a constructive opinion on the application of advanced creation techniques, then I would be practically obliged to. Okay. He launches into a rambling of unstoppable deluge of justifications. Okay. We get it, you're justified. Just tell us what we need to know. So you see, ethically, I have no choice but to allow you to disclose Meteion's lesser-known qualities. Dynamis and Entelechy. Those terms do sound vaguely familiar. Was there not a flower made here in Elpis which exhibited properties of one or the other? It must have been centuries since I last heard anyone speak of such things, and you know how they relate to Meteion in her design? No, I don't. Then why bring up the subject? I'm flattered that you sought my insight, but I cannot afford to neglect my duties for the sake of idle chatter. Now I really must return to my observation. Surely you have your own tasks to attend to. Well, that was no help at all. I definitely could have done better with that. Was that Argos? That was an Argos mount. You mean we get Argos? Really do get Argos as a mount after this? Does Venat give him to us? Because he was hers, so I'm sure we'll find out. Good timing. I finished my own investigations not long ago. Have you any new findings to share? I see. Even an expert in the field had little understanding of Medion's capabilities, let alone awareness of Dynamis. My questions resulted in much the same answers. Hermes' colleagues view Medion as his personal project and could provide no details beyond those which you just told me. Which leads me to believe that the only person with any significant knowledge of Dynamis is Hermes himself. Yes, we made some progress here, but more information is needed if we are to reach any definitive conclusions. Okay, witness to the spectacle, but unfortunately I'm gonna have to go right now, so we'll leave it right there for the moment. I know, I really want to continue, but unfortunately it's starting to get a little bit late outside, and unfortunately I gotta go to work, so sorry about that, but I promise that we'll have the next video up as soon as possible. But thank you so much for watching. Everything here it's going spectacular, if you ask me. I can't stop smiling throughout all of Elpis, so easily the best part of the game so far. And with Elpis, this is the 5th location, so there's only one more location left, not including Labyrinthos, who we still need to explore the rest of. So I'm guessing that we're going to be heading back to Labyrinthos once we're done with Elpis, and then we'll be going off to the mysterious 6th place. I don't know where we're going to. I mean, at this point it could be anywhere. I mean, it might be another part of the Unsundered world, which would be cool, but maybe it's like another version of like the final days or something. I'm sure we'll find out. We'll get there eventually. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, everyone. I do hope you have a great rest of your day, and thank you for joining me on this journey so far. So until next time, everyone, take care.